Okay, now we're going to transition to the live entertainment portion of this afternoon's festivities, or pre-recorded live as it may be. But before we go into the skits, Rajesh is going to say a few words just to welcome everybody. And so good timing. And then we're going to do a short presentation where CK is going to present some awards from the 25th anniversary, and then we'll transition into the skits. So just be patient, and we'll get to all the hilarity in just a little bit. Great. Rajesh?
I heard laughter when somebody said Rajesh is going to say a few words. I think I got my greatest compliment yesterday after my last class. A student wrote to me, "Professor, you have a great sense of humor." I wasn't trying to be funny. When you grow up in a different country, you got to be careful with your sense of humor. I'm very thankful that it was appreciated. This is really a great day. Last day. You feel relieved. When I started as a chair, I had to worry a lot about how do I cut 15% budget and somehow survive. We started the year a great department, and we are ending the year as a special department. I'm pretty sure you cannot go around the campus and not get a smile when you say you're a computer scientist. We made appointments with music, cognitive sciences, pediatrics. There's no other department that has that many connections. So it's great to look back, make fun of ourselves, definitely fun of your chair. That's what that piece of furniture is for. We had a 25th year anniversary twice. We did a big event here, large poster sessions, and then we did a month later an event in Computer History Museum. It was phenomenal. It was the largest gathering of UCSD alumni, all computer scientists, outside of UCSD, in Computer History Museum. Much of the history there actually had UCSD written over it. So today, we will recognize the best posters from the 25th anniversary. CK Cheng has done a phenomenal job putting them and organizing the posters. So CK, this is a good time to come up and recognize. I don't have a whole lot to say except to say have fun for the rest of the evening today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the 25th anniversary of the department, the response is overwhelming. We have 54 posters. The presentations were held on October 11, 2013. The poster judge team is composed of faculty members, visiting scholars, and attendees. We have Professor Walt Burkhardt, myself, Ron Graham, Fan Chong Graham, Bill Howden, Keith Mazzullo, Patricia Shenanton. And also we have visiting scholar, we have attendees, Tanner Halisioglu, Kambi Samadi, Amirati Shayan, David Warner. The judges are impressed by the talent and quality of our students. There are more good teams than we can award. Nevertheless, we have to select the best of the best. The committee decided to give 3 kinds of awards. Excellent posters for the content of the poster. Excellent presentation for delivery to the audience. Most innovative poster awards for the creativity of the research. The certification is written according to the information of when you register. Each student will get a certificate, and each team will get to be shared among the team members a gift certificate of $75 from bookstore. Okay? In the following, I first will give out the excellent posters. I will pronounce your name. Please come forward to state to the stage. The first is an excellent poster award. Okay. Jason Ober. Please come forward. Okay, please hold your applause. Okay. Jonathan Valamerher. Yanis Katis. No. Jiang Su. Okay. All this, I will not pronounce all the names. Yeah. Dang Jiang. Come forward to stand there. Matthew Jacobson. Oscar Bajib Baum. Igwian Khan. Zheng Hao Lin. And Haibin Su. Okay, so.
I got a photograph of the project, but that's your certificate. Smile.
Please.
We'll take the picture. Everyone come, right? All right. Zheng Hao Lin. Let me shake your hand there. All right. You know what? I actually took that real gift here.
Okay, hold on. Got a few more? Yeah. So the second list is an excellent presentation award. Bharatam Balaji, Hidotoshi Taragoka, Christine Chang, Baris Asani, Jagannathan Venkatesh, Rajiv Kumar Nath, Anand Patel, Min Shu Wen, Kiang Win Ong, Sangsurn Chimengnuku, Tali Trebis, Zach Murez, Nima Ningza,
Nima is right here. Come on, Nima.
Alex Bask.
Alexander, come on. Okay. Now this is a test. How many names I remember? Marathon. I should remember at least when I could. But the first is not here. You know who it is. Christine. Where's? Jagannath? No, Jagannath.
Which one?
Rajiv is not
What's the
here.
name?
Oh, Rajiv.
Okay.
Anand Patel.
Very good.
Is Anand Patel with you? Ming Zoon Wang. Ian Bin Hong. Samson. Bali. Bali Quebec. Zach Murray. That's Bali. What's your name? This is Nima. Alexander. Alright, let me start taking pictures.
Sure. One more, one more.
You got one more, Joe?
Yeah, one more.
Oh, I see.
Same stand. Okay, the third group, the most innovative poster award, Philip Campillo, Riley Eco, Eric Lowe, Perry Norton, Thomas Wen, Tabum Chang, Danny Suixin Huang, Andrew Hun. Danny.
See ya.
Danny gets them all.
Danny, that's
Was that one?
Danny.
Oh, Danny. So,
As you can see, CSE is very thorough. Thank you, Zake. I'll let Jeff now we start with the formal and more entertaining part of the program.
Thanks a lot, Rajesh.
Thank you.
Okay, so can we transition over?
Rick Ord was present at the creation of the computer science on the UCSD campus. In the 1980s, he helped create the CSE Help Force together with Greg Hidley. The duo were the first to lay the grounds for the future perfection of assistance in areas applied. Hidley managed to hire two nuggets, Dave Vargo and Glenn Little.
So back in the 80s, after I finally graduated from the EECS department with a degree in computer science, I ended up going into the CSE Help, and with Greg Hidley, he was never around. He was always playing with his motorcycle and working at other things besides CSE Help. So I pretty much did everything. I was the one that took over all of CSE Help. We had a lot of problems, and not with the faculty, but it was mostly with the undergrad students who wanted to become grad students and tell us what to do. We also had battles with the Division of Engineering at the time, and with the academic computing services, who wanted to tell us what to do, but we wanted to tell them what to do instead. So when the EECS department finally split into CSE and ECE, I stayed with CSE, and eventually I was asked to start teaching some classes. And I just recently found out that this whole time I've been supposed to be teaching in ECE instead of CSE. So I've talked to the dean, our new dean from Berkeley. Of course, he's coming from the EECS department up there, and he told me that not to worry because his plans are to combine the ECE and CSE departments back into EECS because it's so successful at Berkeley. So he told me that was very similar to the same thing that happened with AT&T back in the 80s, split into the baby bells, but now they're all back as AT&T again. So his ultimate plan is just to bring us all back into EECS again, and eventually just have a single department within the School of Engineering. And I don't know what the acronym is going to be, but I know that there's going to be a B and an N and a few other letters in there to spell out something that is hopefully going to be meaningful.
Thus, Ord was asked to teach and therefore joined the faculty, stepping over to the other side. Besides the birth of CSE Help, Student Affairs was established with 2 student affairs staff, 80 graduate students, and 400 undergraduate students. With losing Rick Ord and the at-capacity for student affairs, this created a wave of awareness and a top-secret plan was launched. The general idea was for staff to slowly gather useful information and overthrow the department by the oldest trick in the world, key knowledge. While everyone was contributing to the plan, some staff dispersed to other departments, taking along what they learned while at CSE, powerful knowledge, but still strong allies with CSE.
So one day, my nylons and undergarments had all just shifted, if you know what I mean. And so I'm walking down the hall to my office, and I realized that they had shifted, so I discreetly looked down the hall. There was nobody there. I discreetly reach back, and I unadjust everything. And I think I'm good. Next day, I'm sitting in my office. Steve Hopper comes down and he goes, "Well," he goes, "it seems to be working." And I said, "What's working?" And he goes, "Well, we installed security cameras on your floor." And I turned all red. Now, Steve was not referring to anything except for the fact that he came in to talk about how excited he was about these security cameras. But you know how you get when the adrenaline just flushes up? Because I know him and Dave Wargo. If there had been YouTube in 1991 or 2, you would have seen me. I would have probably had millions of hits and it would have gone viral as I picked my underwear out of my rear end in the hallway. But luckily, I tried to be really casual. So how does that work? And he goes,
How long does it last?
And it turned out it was, they ran 24, 48 hours at a time, and they only looked, and then it was a reloop, right? So they didn't really look at it until, unless there was an incident. So for the next 48 hours. I almost slept there. I put my own personal vigilante. For fun. We had fun with each other. They were just a little too smart for their own good. And nobody supervised them.
It was fabulous.
Yeah, it really was.
I thought Rick was their supervisor.
Okay.
Oh, that's like the inmates running the asylum.
Love you, Rick.
He knows it.
Yeah, why didn't he go to the other track, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Sorry, Rick. Academic track.
So we had a problem with the air balance, and so Jan Cox's office, she was the MSO, was at the end, and so they needed to get into the vent over her doorway. Well, the guy they sent out was on the large side.
Gravitationally challenged.
So when we heard this rattling and this banging, and all of a sudden sort of these muffled cries, and we went into her office, and there was his butt hanging out of there was nothing that we could see except for the proverbial butt crack. So the pants had fallen down, and he was literally stuck like Winnie the Pooh. And so that was a story that I'll never forget.
And oh, such a time. And the thing is, Joanna and Molly and I and were talking about this. And for all this stuff, it was still a kinder and gentler time. When I look at the things I deal with now, and the environment now.
It's more personable.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know if
didn't
it was
have,
the environment because we were in the.
when I got there,
Old
we
APM
were the only
building.
one using email.
Well, I think there was less regulation, and it was easier for somebody to use their own judgment and not have to be questioned 30 times about it. And
I think
so,
it was slower too.
yeah, and we,
Well, that's because we had.
Today. Go ahead.
So why are we doing this again?
Oh, we're trying to give them something to do to occupy the lab until we, overthrow the department.
How about this?
That's too good for the department. I mean, for the lab.
Yeah.
How about this? That looks good.
That's good.
That's good. Speakers. They like speakers.
Yeah. I think they need some wire.
Don't forget that software. Yeah.
San Diego-born David Barreño tells it all.
Fund manager, I thought it was a fun manager. After a few weeks here with Martha Chavez, it's now Martha Salinas, we did a Vulcan mind meld, and I spent so much time with her in the mind meld that I think my first 2 months after promotion, people were calling me Martha. So I got used to being called Martha for about the first 2 months post-promotion.
With any uproar, there is branching. In the late century, a new group was formed, the Swedish Revolution.
Jag tror att vi behöver en riktigt bra plan om vi ska kunna ta över den här fakulteten. Vad sägs om att du infiltrerar ett utav deras möten?
Det går bra.
Och sen kanske du kan ta en massa anteckningar och ge till mig.
Ja, det ska jag.
Jag tror att det är bra. Och så kanske du kan få med dem ut en kväll och ha en sån kamera i din slips, så kan du filma liksom.
Fina mat och mycket vin och öl.
Ger de mycket vin? Jag tror att de kan bli fulla och göra bort sig.
Ja.
Och så tar vi över, för då blir de av med sina jobb.
Ja,
Vad tror du om det?
Vad bra!
Ja, jag skickar över mina anteckningar till dig.
Okej,
Och så kan du svara och se om du kommer på några fler idéer.
det gör jag.
Ja, jag tror att det blir jättebra. Okej.
Okej.
Tack för ett lyckat
Ja.
möte.
Bra, lycka till!
Tack så mycket. Hej då!
And we think it's just a joke, but they do run the department, so. So, let's see. So, Nima, you guys want to? Yes. Since this, of course, the faculty are still working on their skit. It would be impossible for us to actually start right now. It's going to be a skit in motion.
Is this screen on? Do I have to do something? Yeah, I'm plugged in. So do I need to?
No, it'll happen upstairs.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, hello graduate students. Welcome to, the CSE Town Hall 2013. I'm Soren Lerner, GradCom chair, and I'll facilitate this meeting. The GradCom members, alongside the CSE, department chair Rajesh, have organized this meeting to see how students feel about CSE and get students' opinions on ways to improve the community. So let's wait another minute or two to see if more people show up. Is this really everybody who's showing up? Where's Jason Mars? Wasn't he responsible for making sure people showed up?
Maybe he brought them to the wrong university's holiday party.
A door! Broken again?
Where's the pizza?
So, yeah, we've. Whoa. 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 Plug them up. Awesome. Great. So, we've come up with the following questions to help you determine and raise some of the concerns that you might have. Some of these questions are, what's great about CSE? What's bad about CSE? And what kind of changes should we introduce in CSE? So, yeah, what's great about CSE?
The holiday party.
Yeah!
Woo!
The faculty?
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, maybe it's more important to discuss what you don't like. Yep.
Well, the TA hours, they need to be managed a little bit better. It seems like I'm working more than I should.
Back in my day, we used to TA 5 classes. We used to take 8 classes, and we still used to do really well at all of them. Maybe the students should just get better at time management.
I think the faculty could be a little more supportive of us being social with all the work.
Back in my day, I TA'd 8 classes, took 10 of them, and on top of all that, I had an amazing social life. What I'm trying to say is, you guys should really get better at handling your time properly.
Eric?
All our advisors are having babies. We don't get to talk to them much anymore.
I'm sure you already know what I think of the matter, but I'll just point out that back in my day, we didn't even need our advisors.
Well, okay, we can definitely work on the TAing concerns, but are there any other different kinds of concerns?
Back in my day, graduate students didn't even have any concerns.
Our pay is too low to cover the increasing cost of transportation and parking. I mean, it's getting a little out of control.
Well, didn't our department just receive an $18.5 million anonymous donation? Why can't we use that to pay for the bus passes for CSE students?
I'm not sure that is what the donor money was intended for.
Sorry we're late. These buses are ridiculous.
Forget the buses. Can you petition the school to let the grad students have 8 spots for parking? Seriously, our time and convenience are just as important as the faculty's. There would be nothing without us.
Yeah, and it's only gonna get worse. Did you hear that the CSE faculty and staff already petitioned to replace half the B spots with stroller spots?
Well, you know what? I just got fed up with the whole thing and bought a cherry picker. You can park it right on the sidewalk for however long you want.
You know what? Forget transportation altogether. Honestly, it will probably be easier to just get rid of my apartment and buy a cot for my office.
No. That's what they want you to do. Don't you see? This is all some grand scheme to make you stay on campus and work forever. And it would make it easier for the NSA to track us.
Wait. Now, just as much as I love the idea of grad students working forever, we should really try to focus and stay on topic.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're seeing conspiracies when UCSD transportation actually does have a serious deficit.
Yeah, I mean, isn't the deficit something like $1.9 million? I mean, that's almost as bad as Shea Bob. And, I mean, where did all that money go?
I don't know for sure, but some of it might have been used for the complimentary Stewart piece on top of Jacob's Hall.
All right, this isn't really something we can solve today. And what does transportation have to do with CC anyway?
Well, there is a new startup that began in our department. It's this parking garage that they're building where students can park for free.
No way. Free parking? You've got to be kidding me.
Well, the catch is your car is mining bitcoins the whole time it's there. All you have to do is leave your telematics unit running while you're gone, and they'll take care of the rest.
I'm not buying it. Cars can't keep pace with the latest mining hardware. I still think the easiest solution is to use some of that donation money to cover our transportation costs.
So this is the second time you brought up the donation and parking. The donation isn't really relevant to this town hall, and we can't use it for parking.
Of course it's relevant. Who is this anonymous donor, and what kind of strings did they attach to it?
Look, it's gonna fund a lot of great projects. It's really nothing to worry about.
Why not? It is a major concern.
Really? I mean, why?
Well, it's kind of obvious. The grant is actually from Stefan Savage, who is trying to launder money through the school.
Where do you think he got that kind of money from? It couldn't be his grant money.
Of course not. I mean, he gets mad grants, but not that mad grants. See, he's been laundering money from bitcoins. After the currency took off, his laundromat just wasn't big enough anymore, and he's been going through the school.
Really? Our department has like 3 bitcoins.
Yeah, those are only the bitcoins we purchased for research purposes, but Stefan has way more. He invented bitcoins.
Yeah, right, dude. Steven doesn't even crypto. How would he just go ahead and invent bitcoins?
You're telling me that Stefan doesn't even crypto? Then why does Sarah work with him? I mean, it's totally obvious, and besides, I really need to point this out because you guys are seriously tripping right over it. This has been bugging me for like at least 4 years. Satoshi Nakamoto is an anagram for Stefan Savage. Stefan Savage is Satoshi Nakamoto, founder of Bitcoin and father of Anonymous.
Okay, that anagram is legit, I'll give you that. But how does Anonymous even tie into it?
Okay, think about it. It was an anonymous donation. Anonymous donation. And besides, shouldn't we think a little harder? I mean, Bitcoin is the only thing they haven't ever taken credit for.
So you're telling me that Steven Savage runs Anonymous, invented Bitcoin, and is laundering $18.5 million through the school?
Yes.
Dude, his name is Stefan Savage. So, okay, not only is your reasoning utterly atrocious, but there's significant evidence that the donation is to turn CSE into a skunk works for new kinds of cyber armies.
That's right. The 18 million, the paper trails point squarely at the DoD. They're trying to develop a new generation of cyber warriors.
Yes, exactly. Think about it, everyone. Rick Ord has been amassing a legion of cyber undergrads for years now, and the university keeps rewarding him for it.
It goes even deeper. I always thought women in computing really was just about supporting diversity in our field.
Oh my gosh. Do you mean...
Yes, exactly. They're trying to put women in computers. And they won't stop there. Ultimately, they'll put everyone in computers.
Listen. You two almost have it right. Okay, now pay attention. Because it's all going down from the inside. You guys heard of code spells?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Code Spells is a platform for mind control, all right? And it's been designed to brainwash young children. And Russell.
What? No, Code Spells is designed to make learning programming more accessible.
No, so you don't even get it. They're already working on new levels. Check these ones out. Defeat the Great Wall that happens to also be on fire. Hide the bugs. Destroy the centrifuge. Oh, yes. It gets worse. Look at these testimonials from these young users. I learned how to write a for loop. Little Bobby. My favorite place is the Enchanted Crater in the Rainy Grove, Jenny. Programming will be an essential skill in the defense of the fatherland, 12-year-old Victoria. In the moment when I truly understand my enemy, understand him well enough to defeat him, then in that very moment I also love him. And then, in that very moment, I destroy them. After a bachelor's and master's degree in computer science, Code Spells finally taught me how to use a computer. Wait for it.
I get a can of Diet Coke. And that reminds me, I gotta get back to the game.
Pretend you didn't see that. One more time.
I really like Code Spells because for every level, I get a can of Diet Coke. And that reminds me, I gotta get back to the game.
Of course, it fills perfectly. In fact, this explains all the faculty babies.
You don't mean.
Yes, I do. All the faculty babies are early recruits to the program. Their lives have been signed away, all in exchange for cup store credit.
Ha! You think the bitcoins are the babies are for something as innocuous as that?
Innocuous? Do you not understand how serious this is?
Oh, it's serious. Those faculty babies, they're not cyber warriors. They're aliens. You all remember the explosion in the third floor men's room a few weeks ago?
No way, that was a Code Spells training session gone awry.
It can't be that. That was the same floor that Hovov and Soren are on.
Whoa. Wait. That, doesn't make, that doesn't make any sense. What do we have to do with anything? I wasn't even here that day.
You and Hovov are both on that floor, and you both just had babies. And they both use Emacs.
What? Well, it is an operating system.
Look, guys, it all makes sense. Stallman is the alien leader running the whole operation from Roswell, New Mexico. What do you think? What do you guys think the iris on the aquarium is for? Clearly, it's an alien transportation device since New Mexico is so far away.
No, you're crazy. The iris is obviously a secret NSA weapon designed to inflict psychological torture by periodically disrupting the Wi-Fi.
That's what the NSA wants you to think. They want you to think it's them to conceal the fact that it's actually aliens. Wake up, sheeple!
No way. It's the original Bitcoin miner. It mines Bitcoins from space.
That's gotta be the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, it's better than aliens. Aliens don't even exist.
Yes, they do. The Wi-Fi disruption is coming from Geisel. It's the alien landing pad signaling for new arrivals. Wake up,
Oh, dude.
Wake up!
It's true.
Wake up!
He's right.
Oh.
It's true.
Oh my God!
We're surrounded! Get out! The door's broken! We can't make it! We'll never live!
Well, I'd say that went pretty well. So, same time again next year?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it.
We will need a moment to set up.
That was fantastic. Alex, I think you do a better Soren than Soren.
Who should? Yeah, you're gonna have to speak into. Yeah, you're gonna just grab one and hold it as you speak. So you may as well take the ones that are close to you. Yeah, you can get. Hovav, you can get positioned if you want. Ooh, hang on, I need power. You got it? All right, I'll just take yours. That's fine. I'm leaving this ready for you. All right. Yes. All right. Our faculty all ready? So I want to tell a little story because we have set a little bit of a record this year. In that Carol and I started writing the skit at 8:30 a.m. this morning, and so. Depending on how you feel at the end, you should be really impressed or don't blame us because we started at 8:30 in the morning. Setting the expectations. It's very important.
Well, that's the longest you've ever spent.
Yeah. Right, we really pulled it out this time. All right, so with that.
How does this begin now?
Hovav, the opening line is Hovav's.
Good afternoon. I am Dr.
Oh, wait, hang on a
Shockham.
second. We're not. You can't.
Having computer trouble.
Was that important? It will be.
Okay.
Please come in. Lie down. Get comfortable. Yes.
Oh, this is ridiculous. You're not even a mental health professional. You're a computer scientist. I can't just open up and tell all my secrets to you.
It's okay, Ranjit. I understand your concerns, but let me assure you that you are in good hands. First, I have completed the full 2-hour UCOP online psychoanalyst training module, as well as sexual harassment and research ethics. I also have a beard, which you subconsciously associate with authority and knowledge. And finally, when it comes to keeping secret, who else would you trust more than me?
Fair enough. Good point.
Tell you what, let's start with some psychological testing. The Rorschach test is very useful for detecting disordered thinking at the subconscious level. So I'm going to project some images, and I want you to tell me what you see, okay?
Sure. Some kind of creature, a snake maybe?
Snake. What kind of snake do you see?
Not really sure. I think it might be a python, in fact.
Interesting. What about this one?
Well, that's a snake, of course.
Is it a python, too?
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's a python as well, Hovav.
Yeah, okay. What about this one?
Oh, come on now. Oh, that's 2 pythons coming out of a coffee cup. This is pretty obvious, Hovav.
All right, this one?
Hovav, why are you showing me pictures of pythons all the time?
Ranjit, you must understand that these images are only what you bring to them. Why do you think you have such an obsession with pythons?
I'm not obsessed. I just think it's a good reptile. I think it's a great reptile to start with.
To start with?
Well, yes, I know that some of my colleagues say that you should start with something fast and powerful, like a rattlesnake. But really, with all the speed and venom, it's just too easy for a beginner to kill themselves with a rattlesnake. On the other hand, some of my colleagues argue that turtles are the right thing. It doesn't require you to worry about all the details, and you can just focus on very high-level reptile concepts, like moving from one point to another. But seriously, turtles, everyone knows that they're just functional reptiles, but that's about it. They're slow and they're boring. Now, pythons. Pythons are perfect. They're sleek enough to do interesting reptile things, but being venomless, they won't kill you instantly. They're a type of snake that is dynamic and strong and visually pleasing and with beautiful indentation patterns on their skin. Everyone should start with a python. I'll never understand why people don't agree on this. But no, everyone has some crazy opinion. They say, oh, back in my day, we didn't have snakes. My first reptile was a dinosaur. Or, oh, we need to understand how people feel about reptiles. Sure, some people love snakes on day one, but maybe we need to consider that we need to teach them why they should love cold-blooded creatures first. And then there's the unimaginative people who tell me, look, the fact of the matter is that corn snakes are the most popular snakes in California. It makes sense to give people the snake they're going to encounter the most in the future. Python, python, python. Why can't they just accept python?
Ranjit, do you think it's at all possible that we're not really talking about snakes here?
What do you mean?
Well, surely you can see that this unhealthy focus on pythons is a transferential projection, and that what we're really talking about here are your feelings of inadequacy that your role as programming languages expert was not respected in the departmental debate about beginning programming languages.
I think that's a stretch. And besides, I think everybody with any sense knows what the best intro programming language is.
Okay. Okay, Ranjit, I think your feelings here are very deep. We're going to need maybe to try something else. I'd like you to tell me about any recent dreams that you can remember.
Oh, as a matter of fact, just last night I had an extremely vivid dream. A nightmare, really.
Tell me about it.
Settle down, everyone. You're too dangerous, see? You're killing people. I give people wings.
Python, you dirty snake. I give them the bare metal experience.
Gentlemen, please don't fight. There's enough room and curriculum for both of you. Students can learn both and then go into industry and use me.
Shut up, Java. I should be taught first. I came first.
Time is an illusion. All ideas are recursive.
So what, Lisp? I can do recursion too. And lambda style.
In my day, when you wanted to do something, you just did it. We didn't swallow our own tails and pretend it was deep.
I've never even heard of you, Algol. Look, all of us modern languages support recursion natively.
He doesn't. She doesn't. She doesn't. Most JVMs don't even have tail call optimization.
And you do? Your standard makes it optional, and there are like a zillion implementations of your compiler, and they can't even grant how many bits an int has.
I have one reference implementation that everyone uses. I am sleek and modern, and I'm not suing anyone, unlike some people, Java.
Ha! My compiler for the PDP-11 is 16 kilobytes, smaller than the logo for your languages.
Whatever. Who is this guy anyway?
You ungrateful little worm. Everything you have came from me. Let me give you a list of all the things I did first.
Everything is but a list, my friends. Even the most humble null pointer is the empty list.
Look, I should be first. I'm simpler.
Sorry. This conversation is kind of pointless. The one thing this discussion has totally established is that none of the faculty can program correctly in any of you. As soon as you start giving them compiler errors, it's back to me.
You don't even have a compiler. You're real pseudocode.
Well, you don't have a case statement.
Did you just think of that, Java?
Well, it may take me a while to get going, but then I'm as fast as C over there.
Well, I can be compiled to C, and then I'm just as fast.
Jala's dream.
We are all just Jala's dreams.
Yeah, and in his dreams, I always win.
All right.
Ranjit, I think we've made some great progress here today, but you have a long way to go. Clearly, you've experienced some real trauma in your past, and you're focusing on Pythons as a way to avoid looking at the issue more closely. What you need is real closure, and no Python is going to give you that. But our time is up, so we'll have to talk more about this next week. Good afternoon, Stefan. Please sit down.
I prefer to stand if that's okay.
I don't mind, but you seem anxious. Why don't you tell me what brings you here today?
It all started in the fall. I went to the CSE 25th anniversary celebration, and I was amazed by the talks. What the older generations had accomplished, I had no idea. Gary Cottrell's discovery of the right parenthesis in the early 1960s, it single-handedly made lists possible. Keith Marzullo's seminal work on clock synchronization, formally explaining for the first time why faculty meetings cannot be started on time. And all of today's modern work on 3-SAT would be impossible without Mohan Paturi's groundbreaking achievements in 1-SAT and 2-SAT. Finally, I had no idea that Victor Vianu theorized not only about the existence of big data, but that he was also one of the co-inventors of data itself. It was truly awe-inspiring, and frankly, I'm not sure how I can possibly measure up, how any of us can.
Stefan, I think that your anxiety is misplaced. You're clearly successful and your students are thriving. It's a mistake to measure yourself against the giants who went before you. You just need to focus on doing what you do best, and the rest will follow.
That's easy to say, but I'm under such pressure. Rajesh has tasked me with getting the department ranked in the top 10 before he steps down as chair, and my time is running short. I've tried everything. I've tried shilling my students out to the press. I've developed innovative fundraising schemes. I even installed a private nightclub in my office to entertain visitors to the department. But none of it is enough. None of it is enough. We need more productivity, more efficiency, more. I need everyone to go to 11.
Stefan, in the end, we're all just human.
Right, exactly. That's part of the problem. We're totally limited by our humanity. Look at our graphical user interfaces, for example. They cater to the lowest common denominator, stuff that makes sense to people. I mean, why is that a reasonable way to deal with a computer? It's like traveling to a foreign country. Sure, you can get by with hand signals and waving and pointing, but to really thrive, you need to learn the language. Same's true with computers. All this debate about C versus Java versus Python, it's all couched in a mindset that is fundamentally racist. That computers are inferior to people. I mean, come on. Rather than force computers to work all the way down at our level, we need to step up and learn what it means to embrace our inner machine.
How would that even work, Stefan?
I'm really glad you asked. I'm very hopeful here. I started a new partnership with Rosetta Stone to develop a machine-centric language curriculum. For example, here we have the new intro-level speaking modem class, which teaches the basics of modulating your voice using frequency shift keying and idiomatic use of the Hayes AT command set. Let me show you how it would work, if you don't mind. Dr. Levchenko, can you demonstrate?
Yes.
We'll now start with the basics. Introductions. In English we say hello. In modem we say I'll say N. Very good. You are slurring the parody bit slightly, but your accent has much improved.
So if you've come up with this solution, why are you still so stressed?
Because it's not enough, Hovap. It's just not enough. Our students are so lazy. They just sit in front of their desks 16, 17, 18 hours a day just coding. Do they think they can generate the next revolution just sitting on their butts?
Well, some of them have started using standing desks.
Standing desks. Standing desks are great, okay? Yes, they improve productivity and they tire the students out so they're more docile and easier to manipulate. I give you that. But everyone has standing desks. Berkeley has standing desks. MIT has standing desks. Stanford has standing desks. We're never going to surpass our peers by doing the same thing that they're doing. It's a conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Well, yeah. Why do you think no one is looking deeper into the desk issue? I've done some digging, and it turns out all domestic desk optimization research has been classified. I've heard rumors that the Chinese are experimenting with hopping desks. My contacts in Russia say their elite programmers exclusively use unicycle desks. But what do we have? Standing desks? Standing desk? Look, there's a disk gap, and we all know it. All right. So look, I didn't let the timidity of our military-industrial complex stop me. Oh no. I carried out a series of secret experiments into desk design, deploying prototypes of both double-decker desks and triple-height desks. And I've uncovered the truth. Productivity is a super exponential function of desk height. But the theory predicts that there is a singularity at 40 feet. Above 40 feet, productivity is effectively infinite. We can't model anymore what happens there, but we think it involves quantum plagiarism. You autodidactically start publishing other people's future research before they've even started. But that was just the theory until now. Last month, I installed the first 4-story desk on the first floor of CSE. You may have seen it. I had Serge Belanger use it. 10 minutes later, he vanished, warped, and reappeared into New York City. It's that powerful.
Stefan, I hope you're not offended if I ask if you're on any kind of medication.
Meds? I got all kinds of meds. Just down the hall. I got a whole room full of meds. What do you want? Uppers? Downers? I got pills that make your nose grow. You want some?
That's quite all right. I'll pass. I think we may have to continue this some other time again. Can you please send Dr. Levchenko in? Come in, Kirill. Sit down. Tell me what's on your mind.
Is this confidential?
Yes.
No one can hear us?
No, we're here alone.
I've come across some very disturbing information.
Start from the beginning. What do you mean by disturbing?
It's about the UC at the highest levels, all the way to the office of the president.
Go on.
The administration has been engaged in unauthorized surveillance.
Unauthorized? Are you sure? I mean, remember that all surveillance of students is perfectly legal at UCSD. In fact, many would argue that monitoring the email, phone calls, and location of students is a necessary part of being a good advisor.
Not just students, everybody.
Staff?
Yes.
Faculty?
Yes. Yes, even research scientists. Everyone.
Tell me more.
All right. About a year and a half ago, like everyone in the Jacob School, my email was migrated over to Google. They told us it was for financial reasons, for efficiency. So when they asked me for help, I did. My God, what have I done?
It's okay, Kirill. There's no judgment here. Just say what you're feeling.
The whole transition was just a way to facilitate spying on us.
By moving to Google?
Don't you see? While email was on campus, they couldn't get to it. The sysadmins union is too strong. There's no way they could have gotten this by David Hutches. But at Google...
But Kirill, Google is an independent company. It isn't connected to UCSD in any way.
That's what I thought. But who do you think runs Google data centers? Vadat. And where do you think the best students are going? To Google. All of them. Just disappeared.
My God.
From Google Plus now.
If this is true.
It's worse than true. There are secret operations I was shocked to hear about.
Do you have any proof of this?
Yes. I found PowerPoint slides. I shouldn't be showing you this.
It's okay. You can trust me.
All right. The secret project, Prince Ali, integrating an operative into the University of Washington to brainwash and train their graduate students for special operations.
Special operations? To do what? Become terrorists? Bounty hunters? Go into industry?
Worse, to recruit them to come back to UCSD as faculty.
But Zach is a great researcher. Sure, you're not saying this is a setup.
Tatlock, are you serious? Have you ever spent time with him? Have you seen how likable he is? How friendly? How approachable? What was the last time you saw a real computer scientist be so social and outgoing?
You have a point.
And then there is this one. Project Green Man, integrated into CMU, sleeper agent. At the key signal, he will turn off their heating and ventilation system. Freeze them out. UCSD moves up in the rankings.
Really? That sounds far-fetched. Does that technology even exist?
Try saying something bad about the administration and see what happens to the temperature in your office. Look around the department at who's wearing a sweater, and you'll know who's part of the resistance. And then there is this. Project Snake Oil. Changing the curriculum to teach Python instead of real programming languages. To make industry dependent on Python. Meanwhile, the UC regents have been stockpiling white space. This is the USD Strategic White Space Reserve. They know that as Python programs become more and more complex, they require more and more white space. We've hit peak white space. One day soon, there will be a shortage. And guess who will have the space to sell?
So that's what they've been converting the parking lots into? Warehouses full of nothing?
You think that's bad? What about these? Operation Balls of Steel. Create a supermaterial with a coefficient of specular reflection greater than 1. Impossible to render. Immense military applications. Operation Darkcoin. The Office of the President, with the help of certain faculty, has been generating Bitcoin using so-called dark silicon. They've convinced everyone that parts of your silicon are unused due to power constraints. Well, it's a lie. There's plenty of power to go around. They've just been using it to mine Bitcoin.
Why hasn't anyone noticed?
They do notice, they just don't understand. Why do you think UCSD email has been so slow?
But how did they launder all that money? Surely the banks would notice the irregularities.
The best spies always hide in plain sight. While everyone is talking about people not paying their Shebob debts, no one noticed that the price of every item went up by 2 cents. It sounds small, but during conference deadlines, the administration can move 10 million, all off the books.
I see. Hang on a second. I just need to place an order with Amazon.
What's this? What's going on? This is not part of it. What? I didn't agree to that. What is this? Oh my God! Oh my God! What is that? Quickly! What is this? I have nothing else to say.
I'm sorry, Dr. Levchenko, but you know too much. Can someone clean this up and send the next one in too? Oh, hi, Jeff. Come on in.
Hi, Hobab. You know, I'm feeling a little bit depressed.
Go on. What are you sad about?
Everyone keeps abandoning me. First Brad Calder left, then George Varghese, then Amin, now Keith is in NSF, and Serge is left to go to New York. Heck, I think even Stefan would leave if he was able to do anything on his own.
Well, abandonment anxiety is very common with faculty. I've seen it many times, but I don't think this is about faculty. I think really you have a hard time letting go of students.
You know, that's true. I try to keep them here as long as I can. Delaying their graduation as long as I can, adding new projects, encouraging them to help with things like Shebob, setting up for the Christmas party, holiday party, so on. But eventually they get jobs, getting paid far more than I make, and I have to start all over again.
Loss is part of life, Jeff. But maybe if you weren't so attached to each student, it might help. Have you considered taking on any more master students?
But that's even worse. They reject me even more quickly. And there are so many. It's a struggle to even count them all.
But that's the point. Under Rajesh's current growth plan, I think each of us need to advise 30 to 40 master students a year, about 80 at a time given 2-year matriculation. With that many students, it'll be impossible for you to remember them as individuals. If you can't remember who they are, then you can't feel bad when they leave. You'll always have a gaggle of master's students to keep you company.
Maybe that would work. I'll think about picking up a few dozen on my way home.
Very good. Now, what about PhD students?
I just don't know if we're doing it right. We seem to be focusing on the least important problems. I had this dream last night that I was a student in our department trying to find an advisor. Professor Bare Metal C, I'm having trouble with my algorithm. Can you help?
I can't help you. If you were good enough, you could help yourself.
But how?
Blindfold. So help you. Knife. Don't be afraid. Go program.
Very good. Very good. I'll have my people call your people in the morning.
I have a problem with my algorithm. Can you help me, Java?
Okay. Where's your class hierarchy?
Actually, it's just a simple problem. Can we just...
No. Don't come back without a class hierarchy.
Imagine I did something with a prop that I don't have. I have the class hierarchy imagined as a knife. Can you help me now?
Very good, very good. So where's your object factory?
Can't we just use new?
New is not polymorphic enough. Come back with a factory.
We're not having prop problems at all. Okay, I've created a class hierarchy in an object factory. Can we talk about the algorithm now?
No, I need to refactor your classes and make more of them.
How is that better, though?
More is more, and go. Drinking from my cup.
My Java. Okay, how about this?
You need to create annotations. Introduced in Java 5.
How did we get to the 5? I thought we were on 1.4.
Go, before the version changes again.
You can just see how well rehearsed. Where's Java?
I think Java ran off to industry. I'm your advisor now.
Okay. Well, can you help me with this problem? I'm not sure if I'm using the right paradigm.
Can you just step back a little bit? I think you're standing a little too close. A little closer. Closer by 3 inches, please. That's good.
Okay, but what do you think is wrong with my code?
That's good.
Is this at all necessary?
Yes, it's necessary.
Can't we just talk at a normal distance?
No.
Okay, so what is the right paradigm for my algorithm?
I will teach you all the concepts you need, and you will need no other advisor. But I will also be your friend, and we will have amazing adventures together. In your darkest hour, you will turn to me for results, and I will not disappoint you.
You, sir, sound like the perfect advisor.
I am. Come to me at any time, and we will discuss your problem interactively.
Thanks.
That's right.
Ooh, a ruby. All right. Wow. There is no better way to end the year than with skits. To that end, I'd like to once again thank everybody for helping out with the potluck party. Thank you so much. And putting up with all of my emails pestering you to bring food. And I would like to take this moment especially to thank Jennifer. Where is Jennifer? Jennifer's right here, for all the work that she did for the party. And for everybody for both putting in time, putting the skits together and performing them. They were, as always, fantastic. It's always great to see. And everybody have a great holiday break, and we'll see you next year.